Well, hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and welcome back. It's been a little bit since I've seen you. This month has been very, very hectic and very, very stressful in many avenues, mostly work, but I've been taking a little bit of me time, and yeah, I've been a little bit away from YouTube, but I hope everyone has been well, and I'm excited to kind of jump back into it. And today, I kind of lied to you a little bit with my kind of beginning of the year. I wanted to try my best to buy less, but because these last few weeks have been incredibly stressful, actually the last month and a half, I decided to buy a few things. And so, but I have been watching a lot of it, and a lot of it is also in line with kind of the map of what I want to do for this year. And so a lot of them are going to be Hammer films, and so I'm going to be sharing those with you today, and then a few things that I just couldn't pass up on and I definitely wanted to check out. So I've seen little bits and pieces of some of these, but for the most part these are relatively, most of them are unknown, which I know is another rule that I'm breaking, but at the same time, like I said, with the Hammer films, I'm going through them and I will eventually, talk about them on the channel in the future. So with that out of the way, let's jump into some Blu-rays that I picked up for the month of January. I know that the end of the month is not here yet, but this is all I'm going to be picking up, I swear. And so, yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm actually curious, before I jump into it, I want to know down in the comment section down below, tell me, what have you picked up for the month of January? I know it's been a busy month. I've been very busy, and I hope everyone else is doing well. So let's just jump straight into the films that I picked up. Let's start off with some Hammer films, and some Hammer films from Warner Archive. In fact, one of them, I'll talk about that one second, but one of them is highly anticipated and a lot of people have picked it up. I'm so glad it finally came out. But the first one I want to talk about is When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. And so I haven't watched any of the creature feature dinosaur films from Hammer yet. I've enjoyed a lot of the Ray Harryhausen films, and so I know that I'm going to go into this and enjoy it. And this is actually from 1969, so near the middle/end of Hammer. This is going to be a fun one, and I'm excited about this one. But yeah, that cover art is just insane. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Have any of you seen When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth or any of the other films like this? I'm curious to know. Tell me down in the comment section. Now is moving on to one of the early Hammer films that is put a lot of these gothic horror films on the map, and I'm sure you know what it is since I've talked about Warner Archive. It is the Curse of Frankenstein, and this is the 2-disc special edition from Warner Archive. Normally, Warner Archive doesn't really give too much on special features, so I'm very excited about this one. But yeah, this has Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, of course, and the special features on this one are it has both the 1851 and 1661 versions restored or remastered in 4K scans. It includes feature audio commentary by screenwriter/film historian Steve Haberman and film historian Konstantin Nasir. And then on disc 2, it has 137:1 open matte version restored and remastered in 4K. The Resurrection Men, Hammer, Frankenstein, and the Rebirth of Horror Film. Hideous Progeny, The Curse of Frankenstein in English Gothic Tradition, Torrents of Light, The Art of Jack Asher, Diabolus and Musica, James Bernard, and The Sound of Hammer Horror Theatrical Trailer. Now, obviously, I just read all of that, and I know some people are like, oh, don't read the back, but those are all the special features on this disc, and these 2 discs, and I'm super excited about it because I haven't watched any of the Frankenstein films from Hammer, and so I'm definitely going to be doing a separate video when I do cross over that threshold and I'm watching all the Hammer Frankenstein films. I almost said Dracula because I'm just so used to saying that, but I'm so immensely happy to have this one. And so this came out in 1957. Yeah, it's one of the first films that Hammer really, started this whole thing. So moving on from the Warner Archive collection to a Warner Brothers release, so it's not a Warner Archive collection, but it's close enough. It is Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. So this is once again another one of the Frankenstein films, which I will be talking about a lot later, but right here we have Peter Cushing, and this one is 1969, so right around the same time as when Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, and so I'm excited about this one as well. But yeah, I'm going to be going more in depth with the Frankenstein journey that I have later on down the road. But yeah, I'm excited to have this one as well. So let's actually move on from here to some Scream Factory releases. And now we're talking about some Scream Factory Hammer films, and this is actually one of the first, at least one of the first in that Hammer from like the 50s all the way up to the 70s that we saw, where most of their major releases came from. We have X the Unknown, and I'm super excited about this one, and this is from 1956, so it's one of the earlier films in the collection. So like, you know, you have the Quartermass Experiment and something along the lines of X the Unknown, and it would eventually go into the Gothic cinema horror. But yeah, this is some science fiction that I'm excited about. So have any of you seen X the Unknown? I'm curious to know what you think about it. And then next, another Scream Factory release and another Frankenstein release. I finally got The Evil of Frankenstein. And I believe I have this one already. Let me check real quick. I do. Yeah, it actually comes with this 8-film Hammer horror collection, but I want to get the individual releases of at least the Frankenstein and maybe the Brides of Dracula and the Curse of the Werewolf. Those are the ones that I really want to get from Scream Factory themselves. But I got The Evil of Frankenstein, and this one is from 1964, so kind of that middle-level Hammer that came out around that time period, and I'm super excited about this one, and also just excited to go down this Frankenstein journey. So enough about Frankenstein. Let's actually move on to another Hammer film, actually one of the only Arrow video releases that I have from Hammer. So the Arrow video release that I have is the Hound of Baskersville. I hope I said that correctly, but Peter Cushing, Andre Morell, and Christopher Lee are in this one, and this is an Arrow video. I got this one. This is a Region B, so this is straight from the UK. I don't quote me on this, but I think there is a region-free version of it, but I have the Region B version, and I have a region-free player, so that's why I got it. But this one, it came out in the 1959, so right at the turn of the 60s, and 1959 was a really great year. I really love Peter Cushing and Andre Morell and Cash on Demand, and so I know this is where they met a little bit earlier, I think the year prior to this in 1959 for the Hound of Baskersville, and I'm super excited about this one. In fact, my friend Daniel from Cobwebs, he really loves this film and recommended it to me, so I'm definitely excited to check this one out. So actually, let's move on from here to some really great Mill Creek releases that came out, and there's been some crazy stuff with Mill Creek lately because there was a price glitch, and I'm sure many of you already know about that. All right, so with the Mill Creek price glitch, I guess, so Deep Discount, everyone kind of already knows this. Deep Discount had a price glitch where they accidentally priced a lot of the Hammer releases, or sorry, a lot of the Mill Creek titles that they had recently put out, and it was way underpriced. And this actually kind of tricked some of the competitors too. And I actually placed an order from Deep Discount, but it got canceled a little bit later. And so then I ordered it from Amazon, and I got 2 things from it. And continuing on in that tradition of what we were just talking about with Hammer, I finally picked up the Ultimate Collection of Hammer films right here from Mill Creek, and I'm excited to check them out. The reason I got this is because there's, I think, 5 or 6 films from this collection that I do not have. So a lot of this stuff is in these indicator boxes. And for the most part, you know, I didn't want to get this because I didn't want to pay the price for just 5 or 6 films because it was hefty, right? And you know, luckily it was on sale on accident, and I was able to pick this up at a really good price, and making sure that I could get the films that I needed out of this box set. And there's also some special features into this box set that have been talked about on the internet for a long time, and a lot of people who champion Aaron Penn, Heath from Serial at Midnight, they talk a lot about those great special features, and I'm sure they know a lot more about it than I do, because I'm still going on my Hammer journey, right? And so I'm really excited to own this and this box set. And I thought they did a really good job with designing it. And speaking of Mill Creek and some price glitches, I also happened to pick up Rita Hayworth, The Ultimate Collection on Blu-ray. So this is 12 of her films on Blu-ray. I know the DVD comes with more, and I'm excited to see those eventually as well, but I decided to pick up the Blu-ray edition of these films, and I've actually only seen The Lady from Shanghai, and I haven't seen any of the other films from Rita Hayworth, so these are all relatively unknown to me, and I'm super excited to dive into her filmography. And yeah, I'm glad that this actually came out in a really great set and really cheap price. I don't know what the price is now, but I got it from Amazon, just like I got the Ultimate Hammer Collection. But yeah, have any of you, did any of you place an order for Deep Discount and get swindled, but then you ordered it somewhere else and somehow made out like a bandit, let me know down in the comment section down below. All right, so we are not done with Hammer just yet. I wanted to talk about the Mill Creek titles together, so we have one more thing for Hammer to talk about. In fact, I'm actually currently watching this, and it's fantastic. I love it, and I definitely didn't really know much about it, and I finally did a little bit of research, and I was like, okay, I have to get this. I got it from Imprint Films. In fact, I got 2 releases from Imprint Films from Australia, and they're all region free, so it's great. You can pick them up from them, or you could also pick it up from Diabolique DVD, which is where I got it from. And I actually got the Hammer House of Horror, the complete series. It's a TV series. It came out in 1980. It's an anthology series of 13 episodes of Hammer. And I guess Hammer was at this point really kind of dissipated and not really around, but they were able to put together this TV series. And this box set is just phenomenal. I love, it passes the knock test, and the design is sleek, and it has such a great cover art to it, and with some amazing looking pieces right here. I've kind of mixed it around because I have been watching it, right? So here's parts 1 through 5 on this, and it's just got this really sweet art. Parts, we have 6 through 10, and Peter Cushing is in one of these, which is really cool. And there's a lot of other Hammer originals in this series, and a lot of newcomers too. And then here is 11 through 13 right here, and there's some special features as well. And the special features are a lot of audio commentary from the Hammer original people that you would hear talking about it maybe on those indicator sets. So someone like Kim Newman, Mark Gatiss, you also have Rosalind Landor and Kim Newman talking, Jonathan Rigby, Kevin Lyons. We also have actress Catherine Lee Scott talking with the people who created this, and also a visit with actress Mia Nadasi. And there's a lot of other things involved with this, but yeah, it's just a really cool set, and I'm so excited to watch it because I'm currently on episode 4 now, and they're a lot of fun. They are so much fun. I'm having a great time with this. In fact, I've been watching a lot of TV lately. I've been watching, as you maybe have seen in my last video, I was watching Cobra Kai, I was watching Mandalorian, a lot of these shows that I've kind of just been watching. I haven't really had time to watch movies as much, but you know, these hour-long anthology series from Hammer is just really fantastic, and I'm super happy to finally own Imprint Film, just a release from them. And this is a great box set, and I highly recommend it. You can get it, I think, from Imprint themselves. You could also get it from Diabolique DVD or Amazon. And so yeah, definitely pick this one out. It's a great set. The other thing that I got from Imprint is something that is finally sold out on Imprint's site now, but I was able to get it on Diabolique DVD for a decent price, and I finally picked up Paul Thomas Anderson's Heart 8. And this is something that I've been wanting to watch for the longest time, and this has been sorely missed, and I keep seeing more and more of my friends get this and talk about it, like Sam from film blogger Sam, and I'm like, okay, I have to get this movie. I have to buy this, and I was finally able to get it, even though, you know, I've been trying to save up money and not trying to spend too much. Obviously, that all went in the wind, but Heart 8 is definitely one of the titles that I wanted to pick up because I love Paul Thomas Anderson, and I loved everything that I've seen by him, some more than others, obviously, but there's a really great journey with his films, and I'm excited to see this one, and I love the packaging, right? We have a really great design from Imprint Films. This is spine number 14 from 1996, but yeah, I'm super excited about this one. Have any of you picked this one up? If you can, pick it up on DiaboliqueDVD.com for, I think, a little bit less, and also Amazon is there too, but Amazon's a little bit more expensive on this one in particular. Moving on from Imprint, we're moving away from Australia, we're actually going to the UK. I actually picked up a few more Indicator titles, because as you know, Indicator was huge on my radar last year, and has continued to do so, and there's some really great sets coming out relatively soon with the Columbia Noir 2 coming out very, very soon. But I had a little bit of a fear of missing out moment, and I definitely wanted to get this set because I've heard so many great things about it from so many different people, and saying this is like maybe the definitive edition of this. I've heard this from Vanessa, from Cartoon Fortress, David, and a lot of people have talked about this so much, and I'm really wanting to get this. And so I've decided to finally pick it up. The Marlene Dietrich and Joseph von Sternberg at Paramount 1930 to 1935. So I have the Criterion edition of this, and there's some different things. I'm pretty sure that Elliot talked a lot about this set and the comparison. Also Rob, maybe projectionist Rob, Rob at the Movie Vault also talked about the differences between these films. But yeah, I needed to get this because I had the fear of missing out, because I know these are a limited edition. And I know I did say that for the most part, I don't want to be a collector of films. I want to be watching films that I really enjoy, right? And so that's a lot of people's New Year's resolutions, a lot of things that they're wanting to do. And I'm definitely wanting to continue with that. But for this in particular, this particular set, I know that I wanted to get this set, and maybe I will get rid of the Criterion set. And we'll see where that leads, but I definitely am going to also prioritize my collection and make sure that I pick up and get releases that I want to watch, that I enjoy, and that will continue to enjoy in the future, right? But I still have not seen any of the films in this set. I'm waiting for a particular time to kind of strike me to watch them, but I am excited about it, and I definitely wanted to get this. But moving on to some individual releases from Indicator, I actually got a few things in their 3 for £33, which I actually think is a really great deal, even though you will pay for some shipping if you are in the US. But I definitely wanted to get these films. There's a few that I can't get because one of the sets is out of print, and so I'll first talk about that one. It's the Ray Harryhausen Volume 1, I think, maybe Volume 2. Yeah, it's Volume 2. The Volume 2 set is actually sold out, so I have no way of really getting Jason and the Argonauts, unless it's some weird version of it. But I did get First Men in the Moon, and this is an H.G. Wells film, and this is spine number 53 from Indicator, and I definitely wanted to get this one because I've just been in a big Ray Harryhausen mood, right? And I've really enjoyed his work, and I definitely want to check this one out. I think it's a science fiction film, obviously, and I'm excited about this one, and it's in full Dynamation and from 1964, but I'm excited about that one. A few other things that, I had to fill out that 3 for $33 cart. This one's been on my radar for a while, and I definitely wanted to check it out. And I watched it, actually, I rented it from the library a few months ago, but I loved it so much that I had to get this edition of this film because it's pretty much the only edition that exists outside the Twilight Time one, which is actually out of print now. And that is Fritz Lang's The Big Heat, a great film noir. It's one of the best film noirs I've seen, and it's just got so many great people in it. Glenn Ford in it, Jocelyn Brando and Gloria Graham. Good God, this is a very brutal film, and it's a really, really great noir, and I highly recommend this film. If you can, definitely get this edition of it, and if you can somehow watch it or stream it, I don't exactly know where it's at, but like I said, I got it from the library, the DVD, and I watched it, and I liked it that much that I wanted to buy it on Blu-ray. And so yeah, I'm super excited about this one from 1953. It's a really tight noir, it's really fantastic, and it's got a lot of great special features on it as well, as Indicator always does. And then the last thing I got from the 3 for $33 is a classic that I watched, I think, maybe in either September or November on the Criterion channel. This was, over there, and it struck my mood to watch it finally. I finally watched Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier. Stanley Kramer directed this film. Spencer Tracy's in it. Katharine Hepburn. An all-star cast. A really great movie for its time period and ahead of its time period. And it kind of stands the test of time for the time period that it came out, and it definitely set a precipice for a lot of where Hollywood would move and kind of the civil rights movement that was happening around it at the same time. And it was a big step, and I think it's a good movie to showcase that. And like I said, I've only seen it the one time, but I'm excited to finally own it, and I thought it was for a good price as well. And so yeah, if you ever get a chance, check out those 3 for $33 sale on Indicator's site, because it's fun. If you can get some good deals out of those. But obviously, shipping is a thing as well. From there, we're actually going to talk about some Vinegar Syndrome titles, because Vinegar Syndrome had another sale, and I'm like, all right, I told myself this would be the last one, but Brian from Just the Discs and Aaron had to just pressure me so much into getting these, so I did, and I'll show you what I got. All right, so starting off first from the Vinegar Syndrome sale, I only got 3 titles because I didn't want to spend terribly too much, but I guess I did, around $80 or something, which is a lot, but this was comfort buys. And so a few of them, the first one that I got was a film from Paul Schrader, Patty Hearst. And I've been wanting to watch this because I've enjoyed Paul Schrader's work in the past, from Mishima to First Reformed, etc. Taxi Driver obviously wrote that. But yeah, I've been wanting to watch this film as well, and Vinegar Syndrome is a company that I'm not super familiar with, and honestly, a lot of the titles I would have to kind of because they're rather expensive, I would have to buy them with another person, or at least try to go in there thinking like I'm going to be watching these movies with other people, because a lot of these are like maybe B movies or exploitation films, some fun horror films that I would want to watch with other people, right? And so, but anyway, Patty Hearst, I think that was a little bit outside of that realm, because it's Paul Schrader, but I know nothing about it, but I'm excited to check it out nonetheless. Next is a movie that I actually watched for the first time. I think I saw it on Shudder, maybe back in October, and it was thanks to Daniel from Cobwebs, who kind of pointed me in the direction, and it finally got a release, probably from a lot of the copyright reasons, because it was just, this movie has been hard to probably release because of all the clips that are in it. But I actually got the limited edition, I think cover 1 of Fade to Black on Blu-ray, and yeah, I love this. This was a great movie. It's a great nod to the old horror of the past, and like kind of being obsessed with it, and then seeing this this character unravel, and yeah, it's a fun film. It's a lot. Well, I don't know if fun's the right word, but it's fun to watch. This madness ensue, and yeah, it's a great one. It has a lot of nods to a lot of the things in the past, and it has a lot of really great direction here, and I love it, and I'm glad to own it on Blu-ray. And then the last thing that I picked up is because I wanted to get this because I've been getting into the Ray Harryhausen films. I've been getting a little bit more into maybe some barbarian type films. I had to get this from Vinegar Syndrome, and I got Beastmaster on 4K. And yeah, this is such a lovely box set. Holy crap. This is one of the best box sets I've ever seen when it comes to package releases. But damn, this thing is treated super, super well. I'm sure a lot of people have already kind of unboxed it in the past, so I won't really do it here because you've probably seen it in the past, but I'm really excited to jump into this one and see this on 4K, since I have a 4K player now, and this is definitely going to be a fun one for sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of half-naked people running around, running amok, doing crazy things with swords, but yeah, that's just how it goes. And then the last things that I picked up were some TV series. Because I've been watching a lot of TV series lately, I wanted to buy these because, you know, I've kind of fell off the map with this show, but I actually really enjoy this show. And that show that I'm talking about is Vikings. I've enjoyed this show quite a bit ever since it kind of came out on the History Channel all those years ago, but I have not finished this series, and I know it just recently finished, wrapped up, but the last season, which is season 6, part 2, I guess there's different parts here, is not available on Blu-ray yet, but I definitely got season 5 part 1 or part 2 and season 6 part 1. All these parts, just call it different seasons. I know that's a whole different discussion, but I'm excited to check this out because I've enjoyed this show. This series is a lot of fun, and it's definitely a show that has kind of fallen off the radar for me because I've been doing other things like watching movies recently, right? So I definitely want to watch some more Vikings, and yeah, have any of you seen that show? I want to know if you like the show or what you think about it. So let me know in the comment section down below. And then the last thing I want to show you that I picked up is a film from Paramount Presents, and I'm excited to get more of these films. In fact, I actually didn't know about this until Stephanie Movie Chatter talked about it on her channel, that she picked it up, and I'm like, all right, pressure, you bought me. I have to get it now. And I'm talking about Pretty in Pink. So John Hughes' Pretty in Pink. I love this movie, and I previously had watched it on DVD, obviously all those years ago, back when I worked at a record shop, and I borrowed the DVD. But for the most part, I haven't seen this movie in quite a long time. And yeah, I have to, because it's a film that's going to be a feel-good movie, and yeah, I'm just super excited to watch it finally on Blu-ray. And Paramount Presents does a really good job, you know, putting out these films. I just love the design of it, and you know, they actually kind of care. It's weird to see a studio kind of care about you know, the boutique market, I guess, in a way, even though this is like a popular film, right? But anyway, yeah, what did you pick up for the month of January? I want to know down in the comment section down below. I've already asked it a million times, but I'm excited to be back. There's going to be some great things coming up on the channel in the future, some things that I'm still in the works with, and I'm excited to know what you're doing as well. So let me know down in the comment section down below. Thanks for checking out this video. Give it a like, share it, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you all next time. I'm not jonesing around.